Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if it's not your first time here, thanks for coming back. So today, I am going to give you guys some recommendations and things I think you should avoid from the brand e.l.f. So I'm gonna give you my top 5 favorites and my bottom 5 least favorites. I've tried a lot of things from the brand. I think the brand is amazing. But not every brand can get everything right, as we all know. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I often cover topics about drugstore makeup because I love drugstore makeup. So if you enjoy that as well, I would love for you to come back and join me weekly for my uploads. And give this a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and let me know down below what your favorite and your least favorite products from e.l.f. are. I would love to hear your thoughts. Okay, we're gonna start with my top 5 favorites, and guys, I have more than 5 favorites from e.l.f. It was really hard for me to cut it down to 5, not gonna lie. So my first one, and these are in no particular order by the way, okay? First one is the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. If you've been on my channel before, you know I love this primer. I mentioned it several times. It's awesome. It's great. It's wonderful. Many people say that this is a dupe for the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I don't know about that. I feel like they do 2 different things. The thing I love about this one is that it really creates this beautiful glass-like finish to put under any of your foundations. It's really gonna add hydration. If you have a foundation that looks cakey or matte, if you put this underneath, it just makes the whole thing just look so much more smooth and moisturized. And I just think of glass skin when I see this. It does have a minty scent to it, so if you're sensitive to fragrance, I don't know that this would be the best thing for you, but I highly recommend this for only $8. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful primer. Everything I'm talking about, well, all the good stuff I'm wearing on my face today, and actually everything on my face apart from my eyebrows and my lashes are from e.l.f. So what do you guys think? Anyway, this is the primer I'm wearing. It looks great. I love it. All right, and my next favorite from e.l.f. are their concealers. So I like both versions of their concealers. So this is the 16-hour Camo Concealer, which is the more matte, long-wearing concealer, and the Hydrating Camo Concealer, which is very similar in terms of coverage. They're both very full coverage, but this one is definitely more of a hydrating finish. For me personally, I like to mix the two because this one is extremely, extremely matte and has a very quick dry down time. I have to make sure I do one eye at a time because if you go here and then try to blend this one out and then go to blend this one out, blend this one out, it will dry. So that's just my advice on that one. And this one for me is a little too hydrating on its own. It tends to crease on me pretty easily, but if you don't have a problem with creasing, if you're younger than me, I always suggest this one over this one because I just think this one is so beautiful, but I like to mix them. And really, it doesn't break the bank to buy one of each because they're only $6 each. So $6, $12 for the combo, still cheaper than a lot of concealers. So I highly recommend these ones. So today I did use the hydrating one mixed with a different concealer just because this one is way too light for me right now. So I do have to pick up a different shade, but this one is in light peach and this one is in medium peach. The shades are kind of weird in terms of labeling. So you might want to just go in store to check out their shades, but highly recommend these concealers. They're wonderful. These aren't in a particular order, but I will say that the next one, number 3, is probably my favorite products from e.l.f. They're powder blushes. You guys, I absolutely love their powder blushes. So really the most popular ones are these primer infused blushes. They are, first of all, ginormous. There's so much product in here. I really don't ever see myself going through an entire one. They are one of the most blendable blushes I've ever used in my life, high-end or drugstore. They just glide on. They're not chalky. They're not grabbing at certain parts of your face. They're so easy to blend. They're pigmented, but they're not overly pigmented to the point where it's scary to put on. And I also love the colors. The colors are so unique. And this is the one I'm wearing on my face today. And I think it's no, it's not. This is the one I'm wearing on my face. And I think this is such a unique color. It's like a light peachy color. It looks super light, but it picks up a little bit more vibrant on the cheeks. This is in the color Always Cheeky. They are matte, but they're not like flat matte. They do give like a healthy sort of look to the face. Highly recommend these, $6. $6. I also love the blushes that come in their bite size. What are these exactly called? The bite size. Doesn't say, but I think they're called the Bite Size Face Duos. This one is in the shade White Peach. I love this blush for more of like a warm tone look when I want to add a orangey blush. This is going to be really nice come fall with like an all rust brown orange warm tone look, you know what I mean? And I've had a couple other of these Bite Size Duos. The blush has been consistent through all of them. Highly recommend if there's anything from this video you pick up, it's the blushes. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And they have a million colors, so you could probably find one you like. Okay, this next one's a little controversial, okay, because I know some people either love these or hate these. I love them. I love them. And I'm pairing them together just because to me they're the same thing, just different shades. So I have the e.l.f. putty blushes and the putty bronzers. I love these. Now, I've only tried these two. I haven't tried other shades. I'm assuming the formula is going to be, you know, pretty consistent throughout in just different shades. You could find the shade you like. Okay, the putty blush, you guys, one of my favorite cream blushes. I have mine in the shade Bahamas. This, again, orangey, apricot, warm, yummy, luscious shade. Beautiful. This is definitely more of like, this is more of a, I don't want to say matte finish, but more of like a satin finish. It's not going to give you a super dewy, luminous type of finish that a lot of cream blushes give. But you can see, I'm not wearing any highlighter today, by the way, but you can definitely see a healthy glow going on my skin. I really think that attributes to this. You only need a little bit. It goes a long way, but again, it's not overly pigmented where it's like scary. I just think the formula on these are beautiful. And again, there's so much freaking product in here. I will never go through this whole thing for as long as I live. And these are $6 as well. Great, great deal. Very well worth the price. And then its counterpart for the bronzing category, the putty bronzer. You guys, I just recently got this. I think it's really nice. I've heard a lot of people say they don't like it because they feel like it's not pigmented enough or it kind of disappears into the skin, but I like these for that reason. I just feel like they're so easy to blend. I feel like this is much more of almost like a gel-like consistency. So it really like becomes one with your skin. It's more on the sheer side. So I actually picked up a shade that probably would be too deep for my skin tone, but I'm glad I did because if I had gotten one that was lighter, okay, anyway, as I was saying, I did get the shade Honey Drip. I'm glad I did because it ended up working out great for me. I love the undertone of this. I think it's more of like an olive-y undertone, which for me is exactly what I'm looking for, so I love that. Okay, and then the last favorite of mine from e.l.f. is something that's underrated, and I've only heard one person, Samantha Ravndal, talk about this, and she's the one who influenced me to buy it. It is this Airbrushstipple Brush. This is my absolute favorite brush for cream and liquid blush. I feel like it applies it in such like the perfect way. It's not over the top. There's no brush strokes. I can really just stipple it. The angle on it is perfect for getting my cheek. It's a stipple brush, so if you guys aren't familiar with a stipple brush, there's the actual brush and then there's some hairs that come up a little bit higher than the majority of the brush. It really blends the product that you've placed on there in a soft way. I highly recommend this brush. I believe it's sold only online. So I don't even think you can buy this in store. So of course, everything I talk about, by the way, I will link in the description box below just so you guys can check it out. But if you're looking for like a really good cream blush / liquid blush brush, that was really hard to say. This is a great one. Okay, so everything else, these last 5, I only have one of them. All the rest of them, obviously I didn't like them, so I decluttered them, threw them out, probably passed them on. Yeah, I think all of these I passed on to other people. They just didn't work out for me, and just because I don't like them doesn't mean that they're crappy products. They're just things that I don't love. And that's totally okay. I'm glad I don't love everything because I spend enough money on makeup and clothes. I don't need to buy even more stuff. So anyway, my first fail, or my first bottom 5, is the Lash It Loud Volumizing Mascara. So for me, I really didn't see any volume when I used this. And the actual wand and bristles were so small. I prefer like a bigger, more like hourglass shaped wand on a mascara. I am testing out right now the Big Mood Mascara from e.l.f. and already I like it a million times more. I can't call it a favorite yet because it's still brand new to me, but this type of lash wand is something I like because I really want something that's gonna coat all of my lashes and give me lots of volume and give me lots of lift. And this really does that. It like pushes up my lashes. The other one did absolutely nothing for me. But once again, I've heard a lot of people say they love that mascara, but most of the time the people that say they love that mascara already have beautiful lashes. I don't. My lashes, they're really unfortunate. They grow straight down and they just need a lot of help. And that really didn't give me much help. I would suggest kind of either trying the Big Mood Mascara if you're like me and you don't have the greatest lashes. Or of course, my most favorite mascara is the NYX On the Rise Volume Lift Mascara. That one's the best. But yeah, not my favorite from e.l.f. My next least favorite product is the Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. So I just did a declutter series a couple months ago. I will link that series down below if you're interested in checking it out. And I did declutter my setting sprays, and when I was going through them, I pulled out my e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. And I thought to myself, why don't I use this? It's kind of been sitting here and I really don't remember how I feel about it. So I pulled it out and I sprayed it and I immediately remembered why I don't use it. It's literally like spraying pure coconut oil on your face. And now again, if that's something you're looking for, that's great. But for me, the only reason I probably would use a setting spray, I don't really use them very often, but when I do, I want it to make my makeup lock into place and stay in place. That pretty much broke up my makeup almost instantly. You could see, like if you spray oil on your face, it was just way too oily for me. I like the smell of it because I love the coconut scent, you know, like transports you to the ocean and stuff. But for the purpose of a setting spray, I really didn't like it. So yeah, I would say like if you have super dry skin, you could probably use it on a bare face just to give you some sort of hydration. But on top of makeup, I just don't see how it works. So yeah, that was a fail for me. All right, and the next one in the bottom 5 are e.l.f.'s lip balms. So both the Ride or Die lip balms and the Bite Size lip balms. And I just recently did like a testing new makeup video. I will link that as well. I used their Bite Size lip balms. The clear one, the mint one, was okay. Any of the tinted ones, if you have smaller lips or, you know, my lips aren't incredibly small. They're just like somewhere in the middle. If you have like medium or small size lips, I just don't see how they're gonna work out for you because the applicator is so large. When you put it on, it actually like goes above your lip line, and I got the berry colored one, so it was like a pinky color, and it made me look like I had just had a popsicle. I really don't see myself using it unless I'm just like hanging around the house or something. But even then, I have other ones I like better. So, and then the Ride or Die lip balms, the ones that come in like the squeezy tube. Those to me, first of all, were so incredibly hard to squeeze out of the tube because they're so thick. Like I felt like I had to step on it just to get some product to come out. And when it did, it was so thick. I feel like when I put it on my lips, it just instantly was gone. Like I had to like mush my lips together a couple times. It slid off my lips, it was gone. So I much prefer something that's more of an oily texture or a thinner texture that's gonna like coat my lips and almost become one with my lips and not sit on top, if that makes sense. So for me, those lip balms did not work out, but I've heard other people that really love them. So kind of just have to go with what you're looking for personally, but for me, they didn't work out. Okay, and the next not fail, but just next thing that didn't really work out for me, things I didn't love, were 2 of the bite-sized eyeshadow pellets. I have several of them. There were 2 that really didn't work out for me and were not even, in my mind, not the same quality as the other ones. The Rose Water Quad and the mint quad that had the mint green matte shades, like a mint green and a darker green matte shade. The mint one, the pigment on those mattes was just like absolutely terrible. I am of a lighter skin tone and they did not even show up on me. So I would assume anybody who's even remotely deeper than me would not be able to use those shades, which I think is kind of ridiculous. If 2 of the 4 shades don't work, it's not worth buying, in my opinion. And the rose water one, I felt like the shades were just way too chalky. They made my eyelids look even drier and older than they are. I just really didn't feel like the quality was there. The other quads that I've tried, and actually in general, e.l.f.'s eyeshadow quality in general is pretty good. I think it's pretty good and worth the price that they're charging, but these 2 quads to me just weren't worth the $3 or $4 or whatever they are. Okay, and then this has to be the worst product. And I've saved this especially for this video. I've been thinking about it for a while. The Putty Eye Primer. I don't know if you guys can see how dry this is.
Water would be nice.
It's completely separated from the side. Okay, I've had this for a while, but it dried out within a couple of weeks of purchasing it. Yeah, I'm touching this and literally nothing is coming up. Don't waste your money on it. It wasn't worth whatever the price was, $4, $5, $6. Just the worst eye primer I've ever used in my life. And in my opinion, it's pretty hard to screw up an eye primer because they're all kind of like the same. This was just terrible. It dried up almost instantly, and when it wasn't dried, it emphasized all the dry spots, all the wrinkles on my eyes. It was not a good look. All right, you guys, and that is it for this top 5, bottom 5 e.l.f. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know, again, like, what are your favorites? What are the things that you don't like from e.l.f.? I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. And I would love for you to subscribe before you leave if you aren't already. And give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And let me know if you want me to do another top 5, bottom 5 for a different brand. I would love to hear what you guys want to see. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.